What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, for those who don't know, Infinity Ward actually added in the winter version of Shipment, so it's now in the game, and it's actually really awesome and enjoyable to play. I gotta be honest, I enjoyed the vibes that this map already gave off beforehand, and now with all the snow and all this other stuff, it's actually pretty cool. Nothing too insane, but for a little Christmas update, it definitely gets you a little bit in the spirit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to go ahead and talk about why I personally think Call of Duty just simply cannot get back on track and basically restore itself to its former glory back in the day when 6v6 used to be the best type of experience that you can get out of an FPS game. Now, I saw a post over on Twitter that Why So Serious actually went ahead and quote tweeted, and it honestly is amazing. Like I said, word by word, I believe not only is this the reason why Call of Duty is failing nowadays, but it's also one of the biggest reasons why pretty much every franchise you could possibly think of is failing as well. You can see right here, he says, there we go, common sense on the Bird app. And the quote is from Max, and for those who don't know who he is, he's a legend in the Halo franchise. But he went ahead and said, what are the characteristics of a game? What sets it apart, makes it unique, makes it work? There is no right or wrong formula. But when a game figures it out, refines it, is successful with it, be wary of radically altering it. Now, I love this because, like I said, word by word, this explains why pretty much every single franchise, known current date, is absolutely flopping. Again, I always respect when a development team wants to go ahead and branch out and try something fresh, try something new. That's what the field is for. It's there so you can be creative. And I completely respect that in every way, shape, or form. But there's times and places to expand upon creativity, and then there's other times and places where you have to take what you already made that's great and basically evolve it, improve upon it, make it something better without completely changing its identity. Any brand new game, brand new franchise, brand new IP, I can understand trying to branch out and make something as unique as possible. Or if you're coming in and you're trying to make, a game mode that's already popular, like a BR, and, you have already, the base BR things, but you're trying to level it up. You're trying to make it something different. You're trying to make it something unique. I understand. But when it is a franchise that has been around as long as something like Call of Duty, you don't mess with the crucial things that made it amazing in the first place. And that, like I just said, is the main reason why we simply cannot get back on track when it comes to Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, any game you could possibly think of, you name it, it's probably going through some crap right now. That is the reason why we can't see anything good with our favorite franchises anymore. They're trying to change what they truly are. And I understand when a game is out for that long, from their mindset, I would probably think the same way. Realistically, putting myself in their shoes, I can understand that. It's, like Call of Duty's been out for so many years. To make the same exact game again and again and again and again and again is not going to work. Eventually, they're going to start losing sales. Eventually, they're going to start losing money. Eventually, they're going to start losing players. And the whole franchise will die. And guess what? Activision is not going to allow that whatsoever. So they do have to build off of it in certain ways. But why do they always have to remove the core features from COD that made it amazing in the first place? Let's be real here. If Warzone flops right now, will Call of Duty be successful? I'll personally still play it. I'm a hardcore COD head. I can't lie, And honestly, when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, if you watch my channel for a while now, when it comes to the gameplay, I actually enjoy it. But for the mass majority of players, they're not going to stick around. One, because skill-based matchmaking is so unbearable when it comes to this game that you just simply can't casually play 6v6. So that's one reason why everybody's going over to Warzone. And two, all of the features that everybody knows and loves from back in the day are either gone, vanished, rearranged, rechanged, or they're just adding in completely useless stuff that isn't benefiting the 6v6 experience whatsoever. And it's crazy because Warzone 2, they're already reverting back all their changes. Warzone 2 is getting hit, it's getting slaughtered right now. I enjoyed it personally, but at the end of the day, the mass majority of the community are pissed off about a lot of changes. And guess what's happening? Activision is making sure that they're getting Infinity Ward right up there to fix all of those changes right away. They changed pretty much every core feature that they messed around with in Warzone, from Warzone 1 over to Warzone 2. All those features they toyed around with, they switched them back. Why won't they do that in 6v6? I don't get it. Oh yeah, I forgot, because they don't prioritize 6v6 like that anymore. Of course, When, the thing that's going to bring them in the most money starts dying, they're on it in a heartbeat. They're on it in a second. But when the side game mode now, like I said, like I always say, they consider 66 a side game mode. It's no longer a primary game mode. But when the side game mode is, messed up or something of that sort, they don't care. They literally treat it as a camo grinding mode now. It's no longer its own unique, fun experience. But that's why I don't think anybody would go back to 6v6 if Warzone dies. Because it's not the 6v6 we all used to know and love. Again, if you love Call of Duty and you're adapting and, you're trying to enjoy it, I'll say, it's probably the best COD game that we've gotten since, in a long time. It's between this and Black Ops 4 right now. Treyarch designed and Infinity Ward designed. But my goodness, comparing it to the OG games, there's so much missing out of it, so much that has been changed unnecessarily, so many things that have evolved unnecessarily, and so many things that have been removed unnecessarily. It's just not the same experience. Another example, like I said, it's not just this franchise, it's across the board. Battlefield, for an example. Why would they change the class system? This has been something that, like in the quote here, when a game figures it out, refines it, is successful with it, be wary of radically altering it. Why would you radically alter it? You have spent years on top of years on top of years on top of years perfecting the class system to make sure it's the best it could possibly ever be. And all of that hard work and effort, you decided to just completely throw out the window. You didn't even bother trying to find an alternative. You just added in specialists. All of that effort, gone. And guess what's happening? They're trying to find a middle ground right now because the community revolted that harshly. It's very obvious why these games are flopping the way they are. Too much is being changed in the franchises that we know and love. Yes, they have to adapt and overcome, but why do core features have to be messed with? Why does the perk system have to be destroyed? They've made it in like Call of Duty Ghost, that's an evolved perk system. That is different than what we've had before, but it's still, traditional enough that it feels the same. Why would they do what they did with the perk system in Modern Warfare 2? It's not logical. It's nothing like a traditional perk system, and it's not a good, evolution of the perk system either. And it's not even just with the older implementations. It's also when it comes to the new stuff these developers are trying to put into these games. They're making some pretty decent things when it comes to Call of Duty. Every once in a while, they'll have maybe 1-2 new ideas that are actually genius. And then when the next game comes out, they're gone. They scrap them, never to be seen again. And the community voices our opinions. We're very vocal about this stuff, and we let them know that, these things are great, yet they're gone forever. So not only when it comes to the past stuff that we love about COD, they are butchering those items or just completely removing them, but at the same time, when it comes to, new stuff that can help evolve the franchise, they never keep what's good. They recycle it, they try to make something else that's new, and it ends up being bad. Instead of just keeping what was good that they made that was new, they have to scrap it and make something that ends up being worse. At the end of the day, I do want to go ahead and make it very clear that I'm not saying that these developers shouldn't be creative with their games. Not in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that, one, it seems like they're not listening to the community because the new things they are creative with that are good, they will never keep. They scrap them instantly, which makes me wonder, did they even know what we liked in the first place? And two, I really believe developers have to understand, or at least the management, whoever is in charge of the overall direction of these games, they have to get it through their heads that when dealing with a big, massive franchise, you have to keep the identity there. And if you want to twist core features that are connected to the identity, it still has to resemble it in some sort of way. You can't completely twist it so you can't identify it. And you shouldn't, at all, in any circumstance, remove things completely from the game that were never a problem in the first place. Because doing so will butcher the identity of your game. And you'll end up with games that have identity crises. Things like Battlefield and Call of Duty. Pretty much everybody is on Battle Royale now with COD. If Battle Royale dies, my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen with 6v6. I guess they'll be forced to listen. In Battlefield 2042, I don't even have to tell you the story. I mean, the people just left the game, There was no talking about it. Everybody said what they had to say, and they got off the game. They lost all their players. It forced them to snap back into reality. You see, They have to understand these are the reasons why. And if they can master this, I think we can see some bangers coming up in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and that notification button. Also, want to chat me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me with live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.